that was its original purpose, and that is its only purpose, is to injure human sexuality. The excuses that doctors came up with after the fact are all preposterous, deceitful, evasive, and false. There are no medical reasons or justifications for doing this to a baby. There are only lies to cover up the fact that you are deliberately injuring his penis for life, injuring his sexuality and his sexual relationships with every partner he has for the rest of his life, and injuring him spiritually, injuring his bond with his parents. It's an emergency, ladies and gentlemen. It is a national emergency to stop this as soon as we can. And I know many of you are heartbroken at this knowledge, and it's dreadful knowledge. But it's what adults have always done. We don't just pass this crap on to our children like big babies, because that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. These are big effing babies that are passing this on to their children. Many of you are regret parents. I know many of you, and I know that if I had a baby at one point in my life before I had this knowledge, my baby probably would have been circumcised. I know how it happens. They have it down. They had 100 years. They had 100 years to perfect their sales pitch, ladies and gentlemen, and they got it down. And their manipulative techniques, the nurses buzzing the parents. I've had reports, firsthand reports. Nurses are coming at moms 16 times in 3 days. When the mom says no the first time, they tag team you. They'll send in 4 or 5 nurses. And then when you say, no, I'm not circumcised, they raise their eye. Whoa. As if there's something, what? There's something wrong with you. You're not circumcising? So I know the pressure. I know if you aren't armed with knowledge and facts, and knowing that there's a community of activists out here who will back you up and support you and know exactly what you're going through. And what if you've got a husband? There are husbands who are threatening to divorce their wives over this. There are now wives fighting back and then saying, if you fight me on this, I will divorce you. This is a marriage ender. You do not let a spouse injure your child. Whether you're a husband or a wife, man or a woman, you do not let your spouse injure your child's penis, period. And will someone post the forced retraction information in the comments? Because these doctors with forced retraction have planted the seed of doubt in parents' minds, and good parents who kept their sons intact were told to pull back their son's foreskin and clean underneath it. They injured their son's penis inadvertently, and then when the boy is anywhere from 1 to 7, 8 years old, the doctors, and he was having problems because of the scarring and the infections that forced retraction caused. They say, well, this is why you should have circumcised him. And now those moms are now posting on Facebook, my next boy is going to be circumcised after what I went through with my first son. And we finally had to get him circumcised when he was 5 or 6 or 7. These doctors are evil, ladies and gentlemen. Forced retraction is not an accident. Forced retraction is a sales tactic of the circumcision industry. Never let it get by. If some doctor tells you to forcibly retract your baby, report it to every agency, to every authority you can. Get information to that doctor. Publish their name on Facebook. This is war, ladies and gentlemen. They have declared war on our future. They have declared war on American men and women. This is a war for our nation's future. We are not going to be a circumcised nation. It's a temporary aberration in American history. It is not going to last. And just do your part. But I know it's upsetting. I know it's upsetting. And to all of the regret parents who are in this movement, I'm sorry that we weren't able to reach you with this information. but you can be the parent that now reaches other parents so that they don't have to feel what you feel. Because I know what I would feel if I was a regret parent, and I have to say it's brutal. It's brutal. And so unfair. And so unfair. I think I pretty much finished with the Gomco clamp. It's got to be sterilized. Oh, you know what you know what's obscene? I told you this is the standard size. This is the most common size, 1.1 millimeter. They do make a 1.5 or millimeter, centimeter. They do make a 1.5 centimeter Gomco clamp, and this is when dads or moms, they get on Facebook and they brag. The doctor said he'd never seen a baby with such a big penis. He had to use the large clamp on my son, and they actually brag that the doctor had to use the next size up on their baby's penis. They brag about the size of their baby's penis during circumcision, and these doctors know exactly how to. They size up the parent, and they flatter the dads. I mean, we've seen dozens of posts like that. The dad comes on Facebook. Yeah, he says, my little champ's got a pretty big one. Doctor told me he'd never seen such a big one. Had to use the big clamp on my kid. Attaboy. These dads brag about it. And I've seen moms brag about it. Circumcision is a mental disease. It's a physical procedure, but it's a mental disease. Mental disease. So the Gomco clamp has to then be sterilized, and it's ready for use with the next child, and it's reusable. Our movement is just beginning to take off, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're an activist, you are at the beginning of a historical struggle to end the genital mutilation of children worldwide, boys and girls, because we know that these children in other countries and you see what I've been posting on Facebook. It's just heartbreaking. These children from the third world country, these boys from that third world nation, just being thrown down, and it's just heartbreaking. And being told that they need to submit to this, to surrender to this genital mutilation ritual to become men. Their people don't even claim it's medicine. It took American doctors' ruthlessness to make that claim. And that's all it ever was a claim. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in here to my live broadcast here on Saturday, April 13th.